Okay, so this thing I gotta do here because I haven't seen anyone else talk about how dumb this is, and I'll explain. Kirsten Powers has leveled a charge of sexual harassment against Bill O'Reilly, uh, so to speak. And in the process, I believe will have triggered every troll on the internet to have fun with her, which may be the new sexual harassment. But you have to listen to her comment. What, uh, what his sexual harassment was. So make you think about what the quote unquote sexual harassment is.
An incident that had happened early on in my career there where I was on air actually with Margaret Hoover, who's at CNN now, on a regular segment. We were on every Monday, and he got Margaret's name wrong, and Margaret said, "Hey, get my name right." And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, there's a lot of blondes in this operation. I can't keep you all straight. Megyn Kelly's coming up, starts throwing all these blonde names." And then at the end of the segment says, "Thank you for your blondness," to both of us. So I went to his executive producer and I said, he needs to apologize and he needs to never do that again.
And I want you to think about that right there. Thank you for your blondness. Oh my god, that is the most offensive thing since Roger Ailes asked you to show him your boobs. Which I don't think he ever asked her to. I don't know. She hasn't said anything about that. But seriously, that's what you're complaining about. Oh, but it gets better. She went to Riley's boss. Let's see who more she goes to.
I'm not doing his show anymore. And I was told basically, well, you know, Bill, there's nothing we can do about it. He's a throwback. He's kind of an Archie Bunker. And I said, well, if you mean he's a Neanderthal, then we're on the same page. He can never do that again. I'm a political analyst here.
Can we just say this real quickly? Someone who makes humor makes a joking comment because he got a name wrong and he decides to, he doesn't want to admit, I guess you could say he said something wrong, but he decides to, I guess, make some humor out of it. I mean, think about it. We're going to go on humor policing a little bit here. I still haven't heard anything of sexual harassment. Now, wait, if you haven't seen what's going to come up in a few moments, let's continue.
Went to Bill, came back, said no, he's not going to apologize. So then I went to I was called into my boss's office. I was told, what can we do? It's Bill. There's nothing we can do. We're sorry this happened to you, but there's nothing we can do. I complained to Roger Ailes. I was told the same exact thing. There's nothing we can do. It's Bill. He's a jerk. Nobody likes him. And then
before we get to this point, I want to make something very clear from what I'm hearing from people that now apparently a lot of people are saying things, and I want to give this information. Apparently, Roger Ailes liked everyone infighting and would say things. I'm not defending O'Reilly. I'm making this very clear. Roger Ailes is looking more and more like he wasn't exactly a good person, a very bad person. By the way, she's taking the word of the guy who wanted her, basically wanted to see every woman's boobs in the office who was attractive. In fact, didn't someone just come out recently, I believe? I forgot the name. Point is someone else recently came out and basically was like, well, if you want to be on air, want to be one of these big celebrities, you gotta meet me at my hotel. Yeah, that's the guy we should believe who's saying what she's saying he said to her, which, by the way, would be hearsay. Let me play it. You can hear her words.
And Roger said, Bill, he likes to put up dirty pictures and ask pretty girls to talk about them. And so the whole thing was sort of Bill. Oh, and then he said, what am I going to do? I don't like him, but he makes so much money, there's nothing I can do. That was the culture.
Wait a minute. Who was it who said that?
Roger Ailes. And so this was the culture, which was Bill was, just too big, and so that there was nothing you could do about it. So I did quit his show, and I didn't do it for 2 or 3 years. This was an election year. This is the biggest show ever.
I could go on, but at this point, it's really her being like she's offended by a blonde joke. Hey, Kirsten, you pull all the W's out of the M&M bag? Because every troll is going to be sending you those jokes till the end of time now. You got a Twitter account, the Twitter trolls will be out in force. The blonde jokes you will receive will never end. And considering your reaction in this statement, I get to be honest, they're going to see you as someone who will say something. But we'll see. The point is I just had to do this because I find it humorous that Kirsten is making a big deal over something so stupid. By the way, in case you haven't heard yet, yeah, September 2014, USA Today op-ed titled "Bill O'Reilly is not sexist." That's a USA op-ed from September 2014 titled "Bill O'Reilly is not sexist." Quote, I know, as a Fox News contributor, sexism is a serious problem and a serious accusation. It's true there are many people who dismiss women as unserious and out of their depth, not because they are, but because they are women. Bill O'Reilly isn't one of them. I know. As a Fox News contributor, I've worked with him for 8 years, including weekly segments where we often disagree heartedly. Bill O'Reilly does not discriminate when it comes to expressing tough judgments. Anyone with a passing familiarity with his work knows this, which makes Harf's accusation so irresponsible. Powers wrote, "Were you lying then? Are you lying now? I am sorry, but the truth has no agenda. The truth is the truth. When were you lying?" This is the problem we have right now in society. And honestly, I want to close this out by triggering her. Thank you for your blondness, Kirsten Powers. Thank you for your blondness. Because the blonde jokes, I hope they come a flooding. Hopefully they'll keep them clean, although you never know. Oh, I remember, I got another one. Although she does make it through the shower, I suppose. The blonde joke referring about rinse and repeat in the shower and all. You know how that one goes. I think if you haven't heard of it, you can look it up. You know, this is the problem. This is the problem I have with these things. You know, I just don't like it. You know, if you're trying to defend someone because you know. By the way, early in it, you notice she said she went to her boss, and then it's like, no, I was called into my boss's office. Maybe the recollection, I don't know. Point is, I just noticed that too. Like she's trying to make it look different. So I don't know. I'm going to be honest to you about this much. In the end, I really have to be honest. I'm really a little tired of these things. And this is why with the Bill O'Reilly thing, again, I'm like, I really need more evidence at this point. I need Megyn Kelly to come out and say something. I need a lot of the other personalities who haven't, honestly, at this point, feel like they have double crossed. They have said well, let me put it in John Kerry words. I was for it before I was against it. Or really, that would be in the reverse. I was against it before I was for it. You know, the firing. Anyway, that concludes this. This is the last thing for the night. And if you're a blonde and were offended by any of my comments, I apologize. But Kirsten Powers doesn't help herself in that category, so yeah. Have a nice night, morning, whatever you're doing, wherever you are, and whatever you're watching, wherever you're watching this, or listening. Have a nice night.